The Breakdown of the Chi, Season 2, Episode 6, A Leg Up. Keisha lies about going to training so that she can see her new boyfriend. Papa. Kevin and Jake are writing a test, and Papa broke his pencil. Jake laughed at him and took Jake's pencil. As he was writing, they tell him pens down. As they were going to their lockers, Maisha shows up to speak with Kevin, and she invites him to the party. Brandon finds Emmett sleeping in a food truck, and he tells Emmett to fix his problems with his baby mamas. He's not accepting him sleep on the food truck. Jerrica went to Miss Brown's property to calm her down since people were protesting against her. Ronnie went to the job Pastor Rafik gave him, and they tell him everything he likes he can keep it. He asked about a car, and they say he can keep it. They tell him to clean the house so that they can start putting it on market. Kevin, Jake, and Papa as they were eating lunch. Their teacher shows up and tells everyone that there's someone who linked the test online, and he tells them until they find the person who did it, no one is going to the aquarium trip. Papa lost it, and Jake laughed, saying it's the first time seeing Papa mad about seeing fishes that ain't fried. The teacher tells Jake to come to the office. As Brandon was working, his former boss shows up to him telling Brandon that he didn't forget that he fucked his girlfriend. Jerrica went Duda and tells him that she knows he's the on who called the protest, and tells him to call it off, and they made a deal. Brandon and his rival Chef Den are through to the finals. Emmett shows up to Father's house and he asks for a rent money, but Emmett is broke. He gave Emmett a child support letter and tells him to make a plan for himself so that he can feed his kids. The principal and a teacher interrogates Jake, but Jake says he has seen it in the movies. He ain't talking without a lawyer. Ronnie is cleaning the house, and as he was cleaning, he saw an envelope with his dad's handwriting and remembered himself as he was a little kid. Kevin shows up at the party for Maisha, and she thanks Kevin for coming to her birthday. Kevin kissed Maisha, and she was surprised. Brandon tells Jerrica about Otis Perry, and Jerrica tell him that he's a shady guy. He must stay away from him. Jerrica invited her friends to celebrate Brandon's victory for the finals. As they were celebrating, one of Jerrica's friends was drunk, and she started talking too much, and ended up calling Brandon a broke thug, and Brandon lost it. He kicked all of them out. Jerrica and Brandon had an argument, and Jerrica says why did he kick her friends outside, and Brandon says he can't be disrespected in his own house. Kevin saw his sister Keisha through the window being dropped off by a black BMW. She brought Kevin some sneakers, saying she got them from Emmett, but Kevin asks her since when Emmett drives a BMW. She tells Kevin to go sleep. Brandon went to his parents' house to get some fresh air, and he finds his stepfather fixing the kitchen. He tells his father that Jerrica's friends are talking bad about him and Chef Den at the competition, that he pays the judges to win the competition. Emmett met with all his baby mamas, and he's trying to come with a solution, but they want him to pay more. They started arguing, and he ran away. Papa tells Jake that if the principal calls the police, they gotta be ready, and Jake asks why are they always blaming him. Kevin says he knows why, and Jake asks what does he mean by saying he knows why. Kevin tells him that he is the one who stole the volcano project, and Jake tells them they got an A- because of that volcano and left. Jada asks Ronnie why did he quit his job, and he says he couldn't finish. Jada asks why? He finish, but Ronnie says he doesn't want to talk about it. Emmett went to the chef competition to support Brandon, and he saw Keisha and they talk a little. Brandon met with Chef Den and tells him he knows he pays the judges, but Chef Den tells Brandon that he's the one that's getting special treatment since they want a black person to be in the finals and the competition will be fair, and they were called to start cooking. Ronnie's grandmother is back from the hospital. She asks Jada to help her go to bed. Kevin went to the 63rd gang's crib to talk to Jake, and he finds him smoking weed. He asks Jake for an apology, and they play some games. The chef competition winner was Chef Den and went to taste his food. He saw that Chef Den stole his recipe and went to confront him in front of camera. Emmett met with his baby mamas again and gave them money, telling them he sold all his sneaker collection and they all had a deal. Ronnie tells Jada that the house he was cleaning at his father's house. He was living across the street, and his grandmother told us not to go there because he is a dangerous man. Kevin's teacher shows Kevin his academic records and tells Kevin that his marks are not corresponding. Kevin says he doesn't know, maybe he was studying hard, and they tell him to give his mom the paper. Ronnie went to look if the car is still working and starts to fix it. Brandon went to visit Otis Perry to talk about his problems, asking for money, and he says he will give Brandon the money. Otis Perry calls his boss to tell him they got the fish.